Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Just basically the Game of Smith back again. I'm sorry I just got troved. Of course, I had to delete the video because it's way too short and it basically just glitched out. Hopefully, basically, be able to rerun and see exactly what I can do with this one this time. Thanks to Trove, like basically with their events and stuff like that, makes everything a lot more unstable. And of course, just like 2 weeks of unstableness. Yay, go Trove. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, all I was doing is just basically explain the event. The event is very, very simple, and you'll be able to get into the event really quick. Ew. So yeah, like I said, it's one of the easiest events I ever had, and like I said, since I started playing. But it's what it is. Let me see here. I don't need a super stealth dash. Nope. And that would be in tab 2. Do, 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 do. There we go. That works. Yum. And I can probably go back to start grinding again. But I just can't wait to get the shadow, um, the sky gems done, so I can actually get stuff working. Like I said, I'm just sorry. Basically, I had to reset itself. Like I said, it's a downer on me. Like I said, I wish Trove was more stable when it comes to their events. Like, I mean, I had about 6 or 7 crashes within an hour. I was lucky to get the event information out there and what to do within a time frame. I did get it earlier tonight because of the fact that this game is so unstable right now. I'm just lucky to get the information out there, which is a lot of fun, which is quite interesting too. The event is anyway, because it's that super simple. Anyway, what I'm going to do here, I've got 12. I got 12. I got 13. I got 13. I can actually make another attempt on my gem. Because all I got to do is go over here and get another spark, of course, and be able to get that. And then I'll have basically all the sparks because I need 13, of course, to get a level 30 gem. So now, beep, 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 beep. All right, I got it, and got it. All right, now I'm going to basically try this again. I'm just going to try this sky gem, see I can level it up, and hopefully it doesn't mess up. But hey, I'm actually 46k now. Yay, sweet Caroline. So that's awesome. Now I gotta just finish off the other side. And what is my power rank? 23. So I can actually get up to. Ooh, yeah, it's a bit nuts. All right, I'll get there eventually. Not a problem though. Just working on a few extra stats and stuff right now. So let me see here. I've got that done. Got that done. I've got that done. I just need get my crystalline one done. That's the only thing I need to do. So that means now I've got just to do grind for crystalline gem things, and I'll be finished. So I need 11 and 13 is, well, actually I'm going to get 217. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start that right now to be exact because I don't have anything to work with. I've got 8 of those. I've got 8 red, but I need 4 yellow, and 4 cosmic. And once I do that, I'll be set that way. Well, I need 8 blue and 8 red if it goes 100%. So, like I said, I just need that. Then I need 8 yellow. And then I need all the cosmics that I can get my hands on. So, yeah, that's going to be quite a lot. I need 8 and 13 and 11. Oh, boy. This is going to be a grind. Yes. But it's going to be a fun grind. I'm going to do some fungens. Gotta love fungens. I think I've got enough cosmic gem dust though to actually do all my cosmics. But you know, now I've got to find out something here. Find something else out here. I'm gonna do some more yellows. I got to get 8 yellows right now, and I'll be finished with that for this character. And then I can start working on the cosmics. Then I can finish the cosmics and stuff tomorrow. So it's not going to be that much of a grind up here now. Like, I mean, I just can't wait to finalize this character so I can actually start working on my Solarian and get that running right. Like I said, it's just one of those things that I've been working on the last little bit. Now, like, to try to get everything finalized for this character, then I can actually work and get a good delve character because I'm trying to basically put my gunslinger away because my gunslinger has been used for so many years, or my Ice Age because I do alternate between the both. I use the gunslinger until I get up to the higher levels to where it's actually doing no damage. I switch to my Ice Age until I can actually get up a little bit higher. But hopefully I can actually fix that with the Solarian, which seems like I can, which is not a problem. And be able to do it that way. So yeah, then I can be able to get and help you guys to get up to the higher. Just seeing someone flying up there, I think. I'm not sure though. Yep, someone else is actually sitting up there, and he's going to be sitting there for a while. Hi, Liege. Hi, Liege. Violate. You can tell when they're actually just sitting on top of the roof because he's not even moving. It's just funny that they actually sit there that long and doing nothing with the dungeon, waiting for you to complete it. This is why I was saying I'm very, very, very when I'm just helping people. Like I mean, if I'm not in a chat, whatever the case may be, it's just like I tell you, I'm not a bot. Like I said, I'm basically human, just like you are. And I do not like people doing that too much because, like, I mean, if they install the game to play the game, why did they install it if they're going to be just sitting down doing nothing? I just don't get that. But it's just what it is, you know. And I do digress on every time I basically see this happening because it's very annoying. If, like I said, in that direction. If you're that lazy to play the game, or you just don't want to play the game right now, just play something different, or just watch a movie, or do something different, and so on and so forth. But that's not telling people what to do. It just takes the boredom out of the game, or any game in that direction. So, you know, but it's what it is. Like I said, I'm trying to now get a bunch. Let's see, he's still doing that dungeon up there. That dungeon is only 3-star, but he's doing what he's doing. Anyway, he's probably having damage problems or something like that. But he's not in part of the party. He's not nothing. And he's just doing his own thing now, which is a good thing. Let me see here. The hole in the roof. I can go straight to that and go plop. Yep. Boom. There we go. And that hole in the roof will give me the last and final boss. Go stood right down. Kill this room boss and we'll be done. We be doneage. A lot of stuff right now. The spiders and stuff is buffering this boss like crazy. But it's dead. Yeah. Oh, stutter. Tasty stutter. Got a lot of stutters. Ooh, and we got another gateway. A stable gateway, of course. That's the one of the steppers. So I will be saving those. I'll be saving those for you guys as well. Like, I mean, if we're basically playing together and running together, basically just to have something to do. Of course, like I said, been playing this game for so long. Just so much stuff that I've gotten done. But like I said, that's what I was saying. I'm pretty much at the end game now. There's not much left for me to do. Like, once I'm finished grinding here now, it's just like, yeah. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, once I just can't wait to finalize and start on with Solarian. It'll give me a different character to work on because I've been working on this one for a while now itself and trying to get this done. It's just basically doing all these like random little tiny bits, like with the all the gems and stuff like that. Try to get the sparks. Sparks takes a little bit of getting them. Like I mean, and you can craft them if you've got enough gem dust. But like I said, that means you be still gotta still farm the gem dust. So, like I mean, you basically getting like a bunch of boxes and stuff does cut down on the grind. So I just can't wait to get, like I said, eight of these sparks, and I actually be finished with every other type except the cosmic, and that will actually finalize this character, which is really great. Like I said, then I'll be max damage and max light is going to be for my stats and stuff currently, so it's not going to be too bad. Now, what to do? What to do? What to do? Oops, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Do 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 do. All right, going straight over. And as I said before, if you like the video itself, you'll be able to leave a comment, or even better yet, hit that follow button. And like I said, I do have other content on my YouTube channel and stuff like that that I've been building up the last little bit. Like I said, I've been trying to work on a lot of stuff. Like I said, I try to stream as much as I can when I'm not working. Like I said, I'll be working this weekend, so I try to squeeze in and get as much information out to you guys as possible in that direction. So it's a lot of fun, but it's still a lot of work. I don't mind doing the work though. I don't mind doing the research. It just takes it takes a couple of like I said, a couple of months to do the research. Well, I get the proper research that is. It's not something you basically can learn on a weekend. And certain things, like I said, certain past events and stuff like that, I do try to post them up as well, because some of these events do repeat themselves after a while. And once they start repeating themselves, what they do is just make add-ons to the events, so they'll change them just a little bit. They don't always change them that much, but sometimes those little changes can actually make a bit of difference. So even with the little bit of change is where I like to be able to actually fill in and get a video out there on it. Now, I don't do every single event. Like, I mean, if the event repeats itself, like if now the next one, the next roll on the next event will be next month. Now, the October one. Now, what do you expect in the October one? Well, you get the pumpkin dragon, which is available every single year, and so on and so forth. You can actually be able to craft that, and it's actually an easy one to craft too. And you'll be able to grab that, and plus whatever pack and stuff like that is available at that time. You'll also be able to grind a bunch of mastery. Usually you get about almost 3 levels of mastery, almost close to 4, with this event. Now, it depends on your mastery level too, but I mean, even at my level itself, I might still get probably 2 or 3 levels out of it or more, just because it is October, and it is one of the major events of the year. Christmas is another one in December, so it's 2 months. And I find October gives you the most for between the two. Like I said, Christmas one is okay, but I find October for, like I said, the Halloween event, and I will be basically streaming the Halloween event itself a little bit as well, so I'll be able to help you guys as much. Like I said, it's super easy itself, and you'll be able to follow that itself to get the right information for that event. Now, hopefully they don't change it too much, because I know last year they did add another part to the event. Now, and that's when they basically started adding more stuff in it for the delves and stuff like that. And hopefully it's not too far-fetched for people, and hopefully I'll be able to get the information out as quickly as I got with this one, with this event, because this event, like I said, I only started today. And like I said, for me to just get the information, because this event is so short and so easy. Like, I mean, it's almost like you're not grinding. And that's exactly how easy it is. So, like I said, it's just what to do for the events currently, and so on and so forth. So yeah, but like I said, like I'm trying to basically right now to get about 100 boxes. That'll give me all my. Actually, I might even need 100 boxes because if I get four right now and get the cosmics is going to take me about an hour to grind. That's all. So that's to get 11 of those. So yeah, it's going to take me a minute. Actually, I might even grind those. I might just open up boxes. I got lots of boxes. I'm not hurting for boxes. Nah, so yeah. uh It's just trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be setting up for the cosmic gem dust and the cosmic sparks itself, just to make it a little bit easier on myself for the grind and cut down on my grind. That's one thing I did at the very beginning of this, is I had a funny feeling that a lot of cosmic dust is going to be used, and some of the mounts and stuff like that requires cosmic dust. I used to have a 500,000 before this event, or just before this patch started, and basically I'm struggling for it now. It's just like, ugh, just because it costs me so much for mounts and stuff and different things. So it wasn't too bad, I suppose. But it was actually still all beneficial. So yeah, like I mean, when it comes to like just having enough to do what you need, because you gotta remember, it takes to make a spark, you needs 30k of dust. But now 30k is easy to get, at least with the U11. Now, if you do have like U10 old boxes kicking around and stuff, you will not get as much dust, but you could still use the boxes. So they kind of make it to where your old boxes are pretty much useless to a point, but they're not absolutely useless, because still you can open up like 30 of those boxes and still be able to get the gem dust for them. Now, even with a little tiny bit of reduction, not a lot of reduction, you still be able to get your basically your gems and stuff done. And this is one thing I did at the beginning, because I had a funny feeling it was going to be in that direction, that they're going to be doing some with cosmics and stuff like that. And what I figured out was I was pretty much right, because I started to farm out the U10, but I never farmed any other gem dust. That's why it takes me so long to get that going. And I wish I started farming that too, and just balance out the character for the gem dust. And I don't digress what I did though. Like, I mean, it does cut down on the grind on the other hand, because like I said, instead of me had to do cosmic forever and whatnot, I still got to do some cosmic grind, but it's not as much. Like, I mean, I'm after using like about 300 boxes so far just for doing dust. So it's not bad. But it's like I said, just to get those last final numbers and stuff like that. I don't do it if there's like I need 13 of them. I don't open up the boxes to get 13. And usually I'd save up my those type of boxes anyway for opening box gem box day or opening box, because of the fact that it keeps me in the ranks in the world, and so I can get the rewards. So I sometimes I don't get all the rewards. Sometimes I do. Depends on who's open up to like that 30,000 or 40,000 boxes. I still love to find out exactly how they can open up so many boxes within the first 2 hours of that many, unless you got absolutely nothing in their inventory. Because I know you can open up 100 and something odd boxes per every few seconds. Like, I mean, as long as you got nothing in your inventory. But a lot of that still turns into dust. So, you know, a lot of the boxes. So, it's weird. But, I mean, it's what it is. I don't fret about it. Like, I mean, I don't lose nothing over it either. It's just like, meh. But it's what it is. All right. What I'm going to do here is grind my last 100 boxes for here, for this character. Then I'm going to basically look at my stats and see where I'm into the world. And hopefully I'm actually not doing too bad. I still need 3 dragons. You got to remember that. And I need the PR from them. And that would be another 90 PR, which basically leaves me almost first place. Now I've got to um, get almost. I can't say it would almost leave me first place because of the fact that, as I said, I'm not doing the competition thing, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, when I'm looking at the scoreboard to a point, I like to be able to see exactly if I'm actually progressing my stats, not in the standing. Like, I mean, it's nice to be able to get the standing too, but it just in my stats and stuff like that. So I know my higher the PR it is, the better it is to that point until it gets to the mounts. Then PR don't actually mean nothing, absolutely nothing, because of the fact that at the end of the day, like I mean, if I'm off by like 10 PR, but it doesn't give me no stats. That's why I like to get the dragons still, especially the newer ones. It'll give me some stability and stuff like that. Stability doesn't do much for characters. It does help a little bit, but it's more for the knockback and stuff like that because they did increase the knockback chance of monsters just a little bit because of this update. So but it's not bad. It's still livable. Like I said, if you ever get hit by a shroom and it knocks you back a little bit, or whatever the case may be, stability is made just for that. But stability is still kind of useless in a way because it doesn't. You need a lot of stability still to do and to make it work. You need like about probably 300-400 stability, but it's all good. Like I mean, you can get stability rings and stuff too. But I don't use stability. I never did because, like I said, when you build your character stuff up, like things don't knock you around that much. Like I said, if you're watching my streams and stuff like that, it's just one of those things. It's just, yeah, it's just a absolutely different way of doing things. So let me see here. Ooh, all right. Still moving right along and humming right along. Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. La dee 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 dee. Next dungeon. I got 33 boxes right now. I've got almost enough to make. I think it's like 3 because almost for almost every 10 boxes I'll get one of those basically cores. So it's not too bad. Like 100 boxes will give me at least sometimes it'll give me 13 or 14 cores. So it's roughly about it. Like I said, it's still randomized a little bit. So that's why I try to get 100 boxes or 200 boxes just because of those cores. But yeah. But right now I'm just going to get 50 boxes. That's including the club ones too that I get. So I'm very close to getting 100 right now. So I can actually swap to my next thing. So yeah. And if you can remember this from this yesterday, where you can actually use for under hair, you can actually get a piece of the night sky wings just by blowing this up and going inside. And just a little refresher there on that because a lot of people don't know about that itself. And I still will actually mention certain things as I fly by them, especially when I'm up here. Because, like I said, if I'm close by them, I'll be able to give you that information and make it work right for you. Now, I'm going to go over to the I'm not even sure what the is. Go over to the next dungeon, of course. And get these boxes. So this will be another 4 boxes, of course. And then I'll be almost done with these gems. So that'd be great. Once I'm finished with here, it's not going to be too bad. I just can't wait to finish here because it's going to be crazy. I'll be able to actually take a break from this, from actually doing all these random ones and just get into one type and basically I need another 2 night lives. Hopefully that will actually do me, and I'll actually get all my gems maxed out. And then I'll actually have max stats. Then I've got to worry about the dragons and stuff. That's why I said I leave my mastery till the last, but I've pretty much almost got all the mastery too for this update. So it's just weird. I mean, what I've been working on, like, I mean, overall, is like getting the odds and ends. But I'm not even doing PvP. Like, I mean, I've got the tomes and stuff for it, but like I said, I'm still getting that much more from the mastery still. Like, I mean, as I said before, if you don't want to do PvP and you get those 2 tomes, the only time you need to do PvP, you can actually do that. Now, PvP will let you get to mastery faster, so you can focus on a new area in the game. But on the other hand, like I said, my recommendation is to get PvP EXP mastery first, because when you get the PvP mastery first, you want to be able to get that, because if you do game changes or anything like that, D will actually make that game change for that first. Hey, welcome back, Snoop. How you doing, my friend? Did you get the event done yet, my friend, or did you even try the event? Yeah, like I said, I had to cut my auto stream short earlier, all because of the fact that Trove right now. Yeah, I told you it was super easy. And like, I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just like, it's a no-brainer this time. It's like that. But I had to cut my one of my streams short because of course, with the event and Trove already crashing enough, it basically so far it's after crashing. The most times I ever crashed so far is 7 times in an hour, just because it's that much loaded up on the game itself, like the game the application. So, like I said, it happens every single time there's an event. And I do not know why, but it becomes very more crashy than normal. But it's what it is. At least I've got like I said, the information in for the event, and made it that work right for people, hopefully. So, but like I said, once you get that going, it's just like a super easy event. Now, what I'm going to do for you there, Snoop, what I can do, try to do for you in a little bit. I'll see what it is. Now, I told you I'm not, like I said, as I mentioned to you before, I don't play the game for people, and your grind is your grind. But I'll see if I got enough stuff to help you with a couple of those watering cans if you don't already have them. Because I know you need 300 of them. And I know they can be a bit expensive. But like I told you before, the easiest way of doing that is like buying a few. Like, I mean, just don't use them, just buy them. Like I said, if the stuff that's in the club right now, I can keep that watered. As long as you can harvest it. Because there is a couple of plants already in there, basically ready to be harvested today. So that's just being ready to be picked up today. Because I keep on checking up on that once in a while. As I said, your farm is your farm, and nobody else won't touch it. I'll just keep it maintained until you actually be able to maintain it yourself, so you can make a big, huge farm over in that corner. Like I said, you got loads of space, unless you want to make your own club world eventually and do the same thing. But that's up to you. But I mean, making club worlds a bit expensive nowadays because of the golden souls and everything is required. So, like I said, at least you get something to start off with to make some flux and stuff. Like I said, I don't use the club anymore. Absolutely don't. Like, I mean, I've basically farmed for everything that I need. Anything I don't need, then, like I said, I'll leave it behind, and so on and so forth. If I need a few odds and ends, I'll just buy it off of somebody. Usually I got enough flux and stuff to do that. Like, I mean, especially for the events and stuff, it's not too bad. So, yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, yeah. So if you get a chance, you could say you can go back and collect those if you like. Just get yourself some plants and stuff like that, and be able to actually start getting that EXP for your gardening. Because you basically just take those plants, you get fertilizer net from them, and you just keep on rinse and repeat the same process, and it works. That's why I gave you a couple of seeds and stuff like that too, so you'll be able to actually do that. So you're not basically leaving yourself high and dry. And like I said, I can do that for anybody because that's what my club world is for. It's made just for farming. There's nothing else. There's nothing. That's why it's no big buildings or anything like that there. Plus, I don't have the time enough to actually build anything massive, and that's exactly what it is, because it would work and stuff like that. So yeah. But anyway, like I said, just let me know. Like I said, if you are in the game itself and you'd like to be able to collect those, I'll be able to go along and re-water those plants, so we can go to try to get some of those plants to go to the next stage, because they are, like I said, it's only in a little bit of time, and then they'll basically be reset for the day, and then you'll lose a day. You'll lose a day on those plants, and like I said, then you're wasting your own resource because of what you're doing, and so on and so forth. So that's, like I said, that's why I hate gardening in this game. You've got to be there, like I said, kind of like babysitting the plants and whatnot. Ooh, that's 660. That's not too bad. I got 679, but that's an earlier one. Okay. I'll probably see you in a little bit, because I can teleport right where you are too. I know I don't even have to go to friends list or anything like that. I can be able to get right to you. Just let me open these boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a couple of plants there that needs to be harvested. But like I said, that spot is more benefit for you. If you need a bigger spot, I can open up a little bit more for you. Like I said, let you build a bigger spot. But of course, like I said, if I could, like, I mean, I know my club world is actually worth a little bit because of how much room it has. But if I had somebody that's basically be able to be responsible itself and be able to take control of the club, and I can tell them all the commands and stuff in the club, like, I mean, I would basically maybe get rid of my club itself, because I got no use for it anymore. Like, I mean, I got use for it for storage, but I mean, it's just not worth it to me anymore. Like, I mean, it used to be back when I used to have to do mass farming, like freaking for steed feed and stuff like that. That's the only reason why I had it. Like, I mean, I made almost 2 full platforms of steed feed by itself. I used to make a fortune off that a couple of years back, and you still can make quite a bit off of steed feed too, but you don't make as much as you used to anymore. But like I said, a lot of people just don't do as much gardening anymore. Like, gardening is basically slowly dying off. 577. Ugh, that's horrible. But almost every club that I know, or the OG clubs, used to do mass farming. And some of them still do mass farming, but not a lot. Like, I mean, some people just do it for flux intake and whatnot. Oh, I got 6 out of 8. So I need 2 more. I'll actually meet you in the club in 3, 2, bloop. There we go. Coming in. I'm coming in hot. Toasty. Oh, yeah. All right. Ooh, there I am. So, did you harvest these plants? Let me see. Okay, I can water some of these right now. As long as they're harvested. Like, this one is dead. Okay, this one is dead. So I'm gonna basically remove everything that's dead. Ready to harvest in 5 hours and 59 minutes. Okay, that's good. So water. Okay, I got to get some of these watered. So, okay, no, those needs to be watered in 5 hours. So they're good. They're good for now. You got the air gem dust. Okay, sweet. That'll help a little bit. Ooh, cinnamon. All right. There was one dead plant there. Like I said, but that's good. Okay. Well, at least you're caught up on that. Now we got to wait for that to reset. Of course, with the club chest, there's some ancient boots there, everything else in that, but it's those are absolutely useless. Anywho, yeah. Okay, I gotta go back in the sky realm right now. Well, at least we got this much done. What I'm gonna do is, once these are fully grown, I've got a few more seeds, but I never put them down because I don't want to basically wasting things right now. And once they're fully growing, I put the rest of my seeds down because I do have a couple of more sets of seeds that I can actually set there and let you have the seeds. Because, like I said, I don't farm anymore. I need one alley from here, and I can go to other clubs and stuff like that to pick up my alleys. But where you're still leveling your gardening and stuff like that, basically it'll help you get your mastery and stuff. So yeah. Uh-huh. So I'm gonna go back in and do some dancing. No, just do some more gem farming. I'll catch you later, I guess. I'm just going over here. And if this game does not crash, we'd be doing good. We'd be doing good like cheese. But I don't know. Because this game has been acting weird since the event. But like I told you, it happens in every single event. It doesn't fail. Like, I mean, it is an old engine that they're using, an older engine. Like, I mean, it's I think it's a 2011, 2012 graphics engine with some modifications. And that's exactly what it is. But it's dated. But then it tries to update it and tries to keep everything going. It's like when I was actually playing Ragnarok back in the day. And they did the same thing. They had an old engine. Oh, you need one light. I tell you what, do you have enough gem dust to augment your gem once? Because you get that one light easy. Like if you augment one of your stellars just once. And I don't know, like I said, if what you got there in the inventory in your radiant gems. But once I'm finished, when I'm finished here, oh, you get 0. Ugh. Oh, I feel your pain. Ugh. That's not good. That's not good. The 0 flux is not good. No, sorry, no, definitely not. What I was going to say to you was, I guess you'll have to grind some flux. Actually, you really don't need flux for that. What you need is, well, you do need for the sparks, yes. You need a little bit. You need 2,000. So, and plus you don't have the dragons and stuff to get flux back. This is what I was saying to you before about getting dragons and stuff up, because basically you'll have endless flux, pretty much. Like, I mean, when it comes to grinding and stuff like that. You see me how many stellars and stuff I get from grinding. And when I'm actually out there grinding on the field, like, I mean, I'm plopping stellars like every third or fourth dungeon, or even sometimes sooner or later. But it's roughly every 3 or 4 dungeon I'm actually getting one stellar. Or a world boss will drop one too. Like, I mean, like I said, it's not hard to get flux if you got the dragons and stuff. Like, I mean, what I could recommend is try to get. I know you need flux or dragons too, but I mean, it'll pay for itself in big time in the long run. But what I was going to suggest to you is trying to get a couple of dragons and stuff to get your basically mastery up, and that will actually fix your stats too as well. So that will help you quite a bit. Because, like I said, as I said before, remember when I was showing you where some of the dragons are located? Well, that's only a few of them there. Okay. Cool. Well, 3 dragons is not bad. As I said, you can set yourself up for 2 dragons for every week that you do play. So, dragon coins. Right now, permafrost is up, dude. You'll be able to get some free dragon coins from there. And be able to go straight over. Just go to permafrost. Actually, go to Uber 9. Go to Uber 9 or Uber 10. And look for a permafrost there. And you'll be able to get that event fully done in less than 5 minutes. You just go along and do 3 or 4 dungeons in there. And you complete it. You might need, you might need to do it a little bit more than that, but you don't need to do much more than that. And you'll be able to get that. So that's super easy one. That's a super easy one to do. I should be doing them too, like, I mean, because I do trade a lot with Luxter. But that's exactly how to do it. I'll show you. I'm going to go to, because it's 11 minutes left, I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to the highest Uber for that. So I'm going to go to, this is Uber 11 Prime World. So I'm going to basically change that to Uber 10. But I'm going to show you something right now, how easy this is. If I could find a permafrost right quick, you'll see me pop off the first event with the first dungeon. That's if this game doesn't crash. It might not be up here though. This is a different spot altogether. And this drags me down to the bottom. But yeah, I should be able to find permafrost. If the permafrost is not here, it's right at the beginning or just a little after. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Nope. And nope. There's no permafrost there. So I'm going to do Uber 9. And I'll be able to go that way. Now, now I got to find permafrost. It'll take me a minute. But if I don't find that in the next few seconds, I don't think I'll find. No, there's nothing here. So I'm going to go to Atlas, go to Uber 9. Adventure, the Adventure Worlds would be the best. And if you don't find nothing within a minute or two, just go into permafrost itself or anything above permafrost. You'll be able to get the higher level dungeons, and you basically be able to do them like quick. Let me see Uber 9. Dang it. Oh, I see permafrost right up in that corner. I see it. All right, I'm going to go straight over to permafrost. And you're more than welcome to teleport to me, too. Because there is a... Aw, crap. Someone is already... Oh, no. On the bottom of me. I see it. I see the snowflakes. Whee! Going over the snowflakes right now. All right. Slowly but surely. I didn't even show Shirley was playing here. But she is. Somewhere. Do. No. Slowly get over. Uber 9 is actually really easy, too. To get this quest done. 9 and 10 is actually one of the easiest. It seems like when it comes to 11, it's kind of random where freaking permafrost is. It's always you just got to deal with that. But usually it's a little bit more permafrost between 9 and 10 because it was basically still based off the old world platform. Let me see here. See me there. You can basically teleport to me if you want because I'm only in Uber 9. And we'll be able to do this quest right quick. I know you can solo in here. But you can teleport right on to me so you can start doing the dungeons. I don't even need to do this. I don't need to do this at all. But I'll just let you know. So I'm there. And only a few seconds. I'm right at the border. So I'm getting there. I'm on the groove. I'm on the move. Now, watch this. When I get up to the dungeon, you see it requires 5 points for me to do that. But I'll show you with just 1 star over here. And how easy it is. It's a lot easier than going to permafrost itself. Because permafrost, you'll have to do 5 dungeons. But watch this. So let's go plop, 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 and it's done. So that's 5 points per every dungeon. And I'll do only a few of those. And I'll have the whole entire event done. And I'll get basically my my dragon coins. See? Dragon coins? Ooh. So yeah. Well, I'll leave you to that because I could do them. I could keep on doing these. But I'm not going to bother. But like I said, yeah, do each dungeon. You'll basically get them done right quick. I'm actually going back to Sky right now just to get the rest of my Sky gems. Because that's really more important right now to me than doing that. And I want to be able to get my other crystalline gem done. Try to get my cosmic one done within the next day or two. It's just going to take me a minute. I want to try to get that done before I go to work this weekend, so I at least can come back with something already completed. But yeah, it's super easy. Like Dragon Coins is one of the easiest things to get in the game, but it's just like, why? Okay, I've got that many. All right, I got my inventory cleared right now, so I always do that before I even start running again. And I need 60K to finish off what I need or get. I'm only getting, oh, I got 64K actually. I am finished with the sky. All right, that means I need only the cosmic now, so I can build up to other 2 sparks and finish that. So yeah, as you see, like I said, it's super easy. Here, Snoop, to get basically those dragon coins, and you get each one of those levels. Finish with that. Now I'm only needing. I need 4 cosmics to make a combined, and then I need 11, and then I need 13. So I need 11. That's 15. 15 cosmics, which is about 45 minutes to an hour grind, so it's not bad. But as I said, it's what it is. Now, you still need cosmics. Do you need cosmic dust or anything like that, there, Snoop? Because if you need cosmic dust or anything like that, you can actually join me. I don't mind dropping down to Uber 10 so we can actually do dungeons right quick. And like I said, I'll be able to help you with that. Try to get your light up. But that's up to you, though. Or I can just go to Uber 11 because I still get more dust at Uber 11, but I don't mind dropping down 1 level just to help you out. And that goes for anybody on here. Like I said, they're part of the stream or whatever KCB. You are good? Okay. All right. But if you do need, just let me know. I'm going to go over here and start grinding and do about at least 4. And then probably tomorrow I'm going to basically hold off and get the rest of them because it's going to take me a minute to get those 11. They're not hard to get. It's just time consuming. But I can also open up a bunch of boxes too. But they still got that on the box that I need to open it out of my inventory. But that's the only thing I get left to do now, is just do this constantly until I get enough. So yeah, if I get the first 4, well, if I get the 8, and I can actually start working on straight up getting my the last little bit of gem dust. And that's pretty much it. I gotta check on the marketplace here and see if there's anything sold. Nope, nothing sold. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm just gonna keep on grinding, get some more light, and then start working on my Solarian and be able to do it that way. And then I can actually, in the next week, I can start upgrading my gems on my Gunslinger and my Ice Age. And I'll have 4 characters that can go maximum stats, maximum light for what it is. Then I got to start working on permatorches and a few odds and ends. And I'll actually have a decent, good set of stats. And then in between that, I'll be able to actually work on my mastery. And like I said, I want to also basically be able to get some mastery and stuff like that. Because, like I said, it's mostly PvP. That's what I'm missing right now. And like I said, PvP do change every couple of years. So hopefully I'll get everything before then. Because I still got to get the biggest reward and the biggest thing, and that's the dragon. And if I can get the dragon, it'll be awesome. Because that will be one big, huge ticket item out of my way. And I can go from there. And then I can actually get on the bandwagon and get my finish off my rampages, which I should have done about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Why did I stop doing those? Just because there was nobody else to run with at that point, and so on and so forth. And usually I try to get into a club where you got a pit made for them, but I don't have a pit in my club, but I never bothered with making one. But I might eventually do that. I just got to figure out exactly how they made it. I know it's basically a pit that falls right down to the bottom of the map. I don't know if that glitch even still works anymore. But I know some clubs basically still got it. So, I try to utilize those clubs as much as possible. And then I can get my last ally in gardening. And then I can actually try to go for because these are all rare drops. And that's the biggest problem for me. Because I've been trying to get, certain things. For me, like I said, if I spent an extra, probably the next couple of months, I'll have all my mastery. If I basically do it right. And that's all the stuff that'll be missing. But then I basically might have to go along and find exactly what is required for me to make a big enough farm so I can get all of the ally, because I'm missing one of the fairy allies. And it's one of the harder allies to get. But some people get it, it's like Gonda. They'll get it only a short period of time. And some people just don't get it at all, like I said, or have struggled with it for probably a year or two. Like the RNG in the system is in this game is just atrocious for some people. Some people actually gain really easy and gain easy flux because they'll go along and get 2 or 3 Gondas when you're trying to get one. And it's like trying to pull teeth then. It's just ugh. That's why I said, in one way, I don't care for the Gonda because of that reason. Because of the RNG is just too atrocious for it. Another thing, too, it's only 250 mastery. Like I said, I don't want to be using it for Gonda trails. That's pretty much what people use it for. And that's not a real good benefit to a point. Because at least when your characters can actually move faster than the Gonda, I can understand how back in beta and stuff like that, when you freaking first get a Gonda, it's like, oh my god, you get a Gonda. And it's like, it's almost one of the best mounts at that point. Because that's the only thing that can give you speed. And if you get lucky with it. But then on the other hand, if you don't get lucky with it, it's just like, ugh. And now it's to a point where all mounts is pretty much useless, except dragons. Dragons are not useless because they do shoot fireballs and stuff, and they do save on getting, like I said, on getting bombs and stuff like that. So all your bombs and stuff like that, your excess, like primordial flames and stuff like that, you can actually use them and utilize that as much as you can to make flux. So basically, you can constantly get flux from items that you save. Like, say, thing I mentioned about the turtle tank before. You can use the turtle tank to basically not use bombs at all. To a point. Now, a turtle tank will be slower than what your character movement is. But, on the other hand, it's a good free way to actually make stuff in the game. So, you can actually make 100% flux, pretty much, without actually spending that 1 cent in anything. So all your resources and stuff, the only thing you need to worry about then at that point is try to get enough of that resource to sell on the market. If it sells good and whatever the case may be. See, people still use bombs and stuff like that for getting into dungeons. Like I said, I rather use a dragon to get into dungeons because it's absolutely free. So I can go along and stockpile my bombs and stuff like that forever. And then someone needs a bomb or 2 or 3. I'm after giving away so many big bombs. It's not even funny. And I still got a stack of them. I don't run out. One, I don't use it for everything. I use it only for just a little bit of farming if I'm going to go nitro farming and stuff like that. Or I'll use, I don't use small bombs. Small bombs, I just leave them in my inventory. The only time I actually use small bombs for is the events. And the events will basically require resources and stuff. If I don't have no big bombs, I'll use some small ones. But I'll regenerate them before I start doing that. So I don't have to constantly farm them. Now I can constantly farm them basically just to get primordial flames and stuff like that. And so on and so forth. but it's what it is. And basically, it's a good way of getting constant flux to a point. Like, I mean, if you've got the right materials and the right like mounts and stuff like that, you can get flux like it's coming out of water. Like, I mean, you don't have to basically always flip the market and stuff. Flipping the market can get you quick flux too, but you're not guaranteed. If you spend like 3 or 4 million an amount, you're not guaranteed to sell it right away. You might be stuck with that for a couple of days. So instead of being stuck with it for a couple of days, or it gets to be, and hopefully you do sell it. If you do not sell it, then you're going to be stuck with an overpriced mount, and that's not always a good thing either. So basically, be wasting your flux. On the other hand, just be somebody else would be just getting rich off you for your own mistake. So you got to be very careful with that. Like, I mean, flipping the market or dealing with the market that way is like the stock market. You basically take something down or look for the cheapest thing and try to push the price up a little bit. That's fine. But some people go overboard with it at certain points in the game. And that's exactly what happens. And then when you look at the amount, it was yesterday it was like 40K. Today it's 400K. It's like, what? And it's kind of redundant because it's just like, why the heck am I spending 40K one day and 400K the next? It just don't make no sense. And that's exactly what people do. They try to rip people. And I noticed that many times over. Like, I mean, I watch the market a lot because if I'm buying something, I still got a couple of things to buy. But the stuff I've got to buy is nothing less than a mill. So I've got to watch what I'm doing, and I'll watch for sales and stuff like that constantly, and I watch for everything. It's like watching the stock market. When someone actually makes a mistake in the market or sells something for cheaper, I'll basically be right on that, like white on rice, because I know I'm going to be saving that much flux, and I know I can put that flux right back into my own pocket and basically do it that way. And if I do make enough flux, that means I can basically help more people out and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just doing straight up grind. Like, I mean, I can make millions and millions every day. I just don't bother to do it right now just because I don't need that much flux, because I'm not looking for those items. And I know, like I said, I can grind for the items too. Like, I mean, I just got to go back to maps and stuff like that, like the adventure worlds and stuff like that. They get a couple of mounts and stuff that I'm missing, but they do have a low drop chance. That is the big thing. Like, I mean, there is ones in a new map. One of them looks like a lobster, and the other one is just something else. I'm not sure. Anyway, regardless of that, they are very low drop chance. Like, you might be doing that grind. It might be like 5 minutes you might have it. It might be 5 months you might have it. And that is the randomization that you get with those. And that's the biggest problem. Like, I mean, same thing with, like, I mean, you look at the talismans and you'll be like, hey, man, the talismans are expensive. Actually, they're cheap because of the drop chances. Think of it this way. When you actually look at, like, getting the carpets, okay, the carpets has a less than 1% chance drop chance of an adventure world. Now, I'll tell you what, you go grind it for about 6 months, and you come back to me. Now, if you get super, super lucky to get one, be my guest. That means you got lucky. But I know people still don't have them at all. I've got all of mine. I just don't have the fishing done from my last one. But I got all of mine. I've got lucky because when people didn't know how much they were actually dropping or actually how much they were worth, I got them for dirt cheap. I've got really lucky. Like, I mean, I've spent almost less than 200K per one. I've even got a couple of them that was only like 40 or 50K. But now these sell for almost a mil. Certain ones. People caught on to the drop chances of that, and I'm just glitched. Yeah, but like I said, people caught on to the drop chances of getting those carpets. The carpets are very expensive now compared to what it used to be. Like, I mean, even the scales. The scales are expensive too. Like, I mean, the easiest way to get scales for the carpet itself, you go to the hub and get hub huggers. You could farm that. You get one for every about 40 minutes or so, and you'll get the highest drop chance for those because they're made for the hub is made for the novice. When you first come in, you get to Uber. It basically used to have saltwater Sam in the hub. What happened is a lot of people used to get access to the mastery at an earlier stage. And what they did is just put it into Uber 3 drowned just to make it harder for people to get that mastery. So they get to literally actually work for that mastery now. And that's exactly one of the biggest things that they actually changed in the game. So what happened is now you get to Uber 3, but they still got the same drop chances for the hub huggers. And you can sit down there, like I said, for probably a week, maybe 2 weeks, and have all the 300 scales. I used to get about probably 15 to 20, 25 scales. Now, I wasn't even trying back in the day just to get a few, like I said, the fishing rods and stuff like that. I had all the fishing rods done in only a few hours just because of that. The hardest fishing rod to get was the Luck of the Sea because it need a different type of type of thing altogether. So just to let you know, like I said, when it comes to that, like a different type of scales. So just to let you know, scales are very easy to get. So you want to be able to use that information itself if you decide to do so, and basically check it out for your own self. You'll see how easy it is to get those scales from there. Like, I mean, I done a lot of grinding and a lot of research in this game, and it's like I said, it's just crazy. And I love going to the hub once in a while, just to do some fishing and stuff like that, just to get some flux. Because wave scales do sell after selling like 40 to 50 to 60K a pop at times. I can make millions off a short period of time. And that's exactly why I look at it. Like, I mean, I could make more off the hub than I could actually make off mounts because it's a constant supply. I'm not waiting for those adventure boxes to go pop and give me a mount that's worth 40K. I can just do that within less time, and it's to have that as a fish and basically just loot collect and done. And that's pretty much it. And it works. I get so much glim from it too. Like, I mean, I can actually take that, go to Treasure Trove, get the mounts and stuff from Treasure Trove, and I can have mounts could sell for between 10 and 12K or sometimes more. And I can actually turn that into another flux farm. So there's a lot of stuff that you can make flux with and very easy to make flux. Like, I mean, just look at exactly what's required for what you need for the mastery and stuff like that, or basically get your fishing up. And fishing is, like I said, a boring concept, but an easy concept to make flux. Like, so if you're stuck with limited flux and you're like, hey, man, I've got nothing to do for a little bit, or basically you finish grinding your gems and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you just can pop in there, go into the hub, just do some fishing and do that. Like, I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of time in there just to basically make flux. Like, I mean, it's something that I did when I was a novice. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, that don't work anymore. It still works. It works quite well. Sometimes too well. Because, like, I mean, the drop chances are completely off the wall in there. Like, I mean, I done the mathematical equation for just the hub, difference between the hub and the everywhere else, like in the chocolate or basically the Candoria and stuff like that, the drop chances for those, and I found it was quite less. Like, I mean, I was getting one for every 1 hour and 15 minutes sometimes because of the RNG and stuff like that is a little bit different. The RNG tables changed a little bit, but not by much, but just enough to basically kind of say, okay, this is a little bit hard to get, and whatever the case may be. I spent also a bit of time doing like say fishing in Treasure Trove and getting some of the super rare fish in there. And I mean, the one that actually, there's another fish that you can get. It's good for mastery too. It's a mixture between the water and lava. And when the two of it combines, you will get a fish in there. Now, a lot of people don't think about that, but you can get on a boat, go fishing, and get between the two sources, and you can go fishing there, and you will actually get a rare fish. Now, that is a fish that I love getting because it is the white engine scales or the white scales that you can get. And sometimes they actually do sell for more. But the only thing is, it's a very slow process to getting them. Like, I mean, you might spend, like I said, sometimes an hour and a half to get one. And if it's required a lot of those to get there, like, I mean, that's why sometimes you'll see them go for about 100K, just because of the drop chances. Like, I mean, I can understand, like I said, some of the mounts and stuff, yes, a little bit overpriced, but depends on how the drop chances are. If the drop chances or drop table is actually there, like I said, if it's like 2%, you're guaranteed almost every so often to get that drop. Like a certain, even certain with certain events. If you look at the events itself, to look at the drop tables, and you got to say to get what's it called, the allies. Allies in most cases are one of the easiest things to get. The lowest mastery to get, and it might be that means it might be stuck on 3% just to get that mastery, or just to get that one ally. But you get it multiple times. Then you can start selling it to people and stuff like that that don't are too lazy to grind for that 3%, or just don't have the time enough to grind it. So they'll go along and try to do the rest of the event, except that they'll actually miss that part of the event. So they'll basically buy it with flux and stuff like that, so they can actually catch it with their mastery, and that's pretty much the way it works. The only thing is, like I said, with certain things in this game, like I mean, I love the mathematical equations in this game because it's like, you got to remember, I'm a numbers nerd, and I always was. And I look at the numbers and say, okay, if it's 2% for this, it's 3% for this, it's 1.2% for this, so on and so forth. Then I'm looking at the market and saying, it's a bit overpriced. I will tell you it's overpriced, and I will tell you, like, I mean, if you're looking at the Pachyderm for 25 mil when it first dropped, that one actually had about 1% drop chance in a Delph. And it was the only place to get it. Now, the only thing is, it was sold for 25. It was sold for more than the Gonda, but it's not as bad as Gonda because it's only roughly about 0.5% for a Gonda to drop in the world. And if you've got superstition and stuff like that, it brings it roughly about 1%. But that means you might still need to open up X number amount of boxes to get a Gonda. And that's exactly how that works. So think of it this way. If you basically look at all the drops and stuff in the game, it sounds like a bunch of boring talk itself. But if you look at all the drops and stuff like that, then basically go to the adventure and look at the adventure boxes. When you get like the dragon eggs and all that, basically count how many boxes, roughly how many it takes to get that one dragon egg. Sometimes, like I mean, if you're doing like the Blocktron, not the one that's in, or the Lego one, I mean, and not the Blocktron because that's the one in the club, but if the Lego one itself, you need 5 fragments. But sometimes it takes 2 months to get one of those fragments. Sometimes it takes a month. Like I mean, it depends on RNG. But count how many boxes you get to get that one fragment. Then you do the multiplication and for how long it's going to take you to get that one dragon. And that's exactly how that works. Like, I mean, basically, it's all to do with randomization. But at the end of the day, it might still take you a while. Like I said, it's just crazy. But like I said, this is why I said, when it comes to doing your research and stuff like that, research will pay off big time. But if you get your research for to work right, and then you'll actually take the mathematical equations in there, you basically know exactly how and many times you're going to get that one drop. And then you know how much flux you're going to make. Like, I mean, if you've got something that's going to sell for 25 million, or let's say 15 million, or anything like that, you get to look at it this way. The equation itself is how long does it be in your inventory? How many times do you have to put it back up on the market before it's sold? And that's exactly what you get to look at. If it's more than once or twice or 3 times, that means your value, even though you put the same value up, that means your value is decreased. because of that reason. Like, I mean, it's just the way it works with the market. Like, I mean, you want to sell stuff quickly, and you want to get as much flux as possible in a short period of time. And basically, that's how you build up strong characters and stuff like that. And I turned around and mentioned this back about probably 6 years ago. So when I started playing this, and someone said I was basically telling them a bunch of BS. I said, no, I'm not telling you a bunch of BS. Look at exactly what it is. Like, I mean, I could go along and take like primordial flames. I could take all the easy stuff to get in the game if you do it right, which a lot of people don't know how to get, to do it correctly, and basically regenerate that. And I can look at all the stuff regenerate. I can make 2 or 3, 4 million, while somebody could try to sell one mount for 2 or 3 or 4 million, and it'll take them 2 or 3 days to get rid of it. Where I'm actually making that within an hour. That's the biggest huge thing that you got to look at, and that's exactly how that works. Now, like I said, for me, I love the way the market works in this game to a point, because you can actually basically really mess people up to a point, because when you actually got a certain item or a certain amount of items that you know you could sell, you just got to be careful sometimes how much you sell it for, and you do not want to lose profit on it. You want to always gain, but how much are you going to gain? You get to look at the time it takes you to get that item versus how much the item is actually worth. So think of it this way. If you're stuck with an item for the longest period of time, and this is a marketing strategy that I worked out years ago, and I'll still use it, and I'll still make millions every day. Well, depends on what do you have access to there, Snoop. Because each level and each power level will actually give you an access to a different item. Like, I mean, I could sell probably even basically chocolate sponges to people, but that'll be absolutely useless. But I mean, it's just the novelty item. But yeah, but it depends on what you can go for, dude. Like, I mean, if you basically look at how much time you're going to spend and how much resources you have versus how much you can get back on those resources. If it's not just resources, but how many things that you have to sell to basically make a profit. So, like, I mean, you might have a bunch of mounts there you're not using and stuff like that. You can sell them for a little bit lesser than what's on the market. Sometimes they'll move quick. Sometimes you'll basically be stuck with them for 2 or 3 days. Because some of them are very common. Some of the mounts in this game are very common. Some of them are rare. And that's the thing. So, depends on exactly the price they're going for right now on the market. Depends on how much they're going for and how much you want to sell them for. That makes the difference. Like, you think of it this way. Like, the market in this game is like the stock market. You basically, someone will try to undercut you, try to cut you out. And then when he tries to undercut you, you'll basically sell for cheaper. But what they'll do is just buy that item and make a markup price so they can actually make more. So they'll try to drive you out of the market. That is the strategy that they use. This strategy has been used since the game was actually being created. And this is something that I noticed too. Like, someone actually will go along and say you sell something for 20 let's say 20K less. And they'll look at the next item, and they'll probably be a little bit cheaper or a little bit more expensive. But they'll buy the two items and basically block off that market. Now, sometimes you can do it with two items, depends on the rarity of the item, or do something else. And they'll block it off by making it so you can actually they'll try to drive your prices down even further if you do have more than one item of that. And basically, if you don't, well, basically, you could have just lost or gained. And that's exactly how that works. So you got to be very careful what you do. Like, I mean, and what you sell. That's why I don't like using the market too much, but I don't mind putting stuff in the market just to make a few extra flux. If I make 2 or 3 or 400K just for grinding off of mounts, I'm fine with that, because I know I can make and I can grind other things. Like, I mean, there's another thing too. Like, I mean, you can make gardening. Start doing golden souls. Golden souls is actually a really good way to make flux, but there is actually a delay in golden souls. And that delay itself, it takes a couple of days for them to grow. So you're sitting on flux, but you can make it probably 100 to 200K, depends on how big your field is. Even with the square that is in my in the club that I gave you to use for now, that can actually generate over 200K a day if you got enough stuff going. But the only problem is you're still waiting those watering days, growing it, trying to get some instant growers and all that. It's a bunch of crazy stuff that you got to do. Like I mean, this is what I normally do. Like I mean, if you're actually going straight up gardening is a good way to make flux too. But you also got to be active around that gardening. If you are not active, you will actually lose time and money. So what happens is, like I said, depends on which way you do and how active you are. Like, I mean, remember when basically you were basically asking me to give you a hand and stuff like that? Well, it depends on, like I said, to get you to water, help you get the watering cans. That's not a problem. The problem is the items and stuff like that requires, I've got none. But once you don't want to spend the watering cans. So what you do with, for the first little bit, you'd be stuck with a farming. You want to get the everlasting one. And you've got to get all this special stuff that you need to go farming so you can make flux. Because you do not want to spend flux to try to make flux back because it does not work. You'll actually end up going broke. So to see if you're spending like on the watering can and stuff like that, basically you'll just end up basically losing flux. Well, so what you do is just basically, as I told you before, when you actually sell mounts and stuff like that, just buy a few watering cans instead of getting the materials. Because the materials to make watering cans are more expensive than the watering cans. Ugh. I mean, you got to remember, you're combining a couple of resources together to actually get those watering cans. So it's not cheaper. So what you do is just basically get basically the watering cans when you can, and get only small sections of them. And like I said, within a short period of time, because it's not really wasting money at that point. Because you're gaining instead of losing. Because what you're doing is just stockpiling. Once you finish stockpiling those, you can start using that knowledge to make more and more flux. So basically, when you turn into a great big huge farming, like I said, a great big huge farming field, you can actually make a lot. And you can make, like I mean, with selling things and stuff like that. I know one person right now, he can make $7 to $8 million flux a day when he's actually playing. That's doing the trades. He does some flips at times and whatnot, and he does a couple of extra odds and ends. Is all he does. But he's always careful. He's after losing money or losing flux and flips too. But in most cases, he actually gains. Like, I mean, he might lose probably 100K, but then he's got his 100K with something else. So he'll basically make it a flop sometimes, just to lose, just to control the market. Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, and then it's not a lot. It's seriously. And it's just more to do how you want to play the game. Like, I mean, I could give you a suggestion. I could give you 150 suggestions of how to make flux and stuff in the game. But, like, I mean, it's how you want to play the game at the end of the day. How much time do you have to put into it? Are you interested in doing certain things? If you're not interested and you start doing it and you're basically going to waste a flux and you're not going to do nothing with it, then you're going to be at a loss. So same thing with the seeds and stuff like that with gardening to start off. You're going to need a lot of seeds to start off. And you're going to need basically cookie musk, and you're going to need all that stuff. You're going to need a lot to get your allies up. And then once you start doing that, you'll be able to push up even further with basically your mastery and also your gardening. But you need to unlock your recipes. So you unlock each tier and stuff like that, and you'll be doing just fine. But until you get that, gardening is going to be a pain in the rump. It's going to be a pain in the ass to get going, just because of what it's required to get going. Like, I mean, you can go along and spend flux and stuff like that to buy the tractor. The tractor can help because there is a tractor that does water your plants, but it does it does them. It's the same thing as having the watering can. Like, but you hop on it. Basically, you water your fields. There is one that harvests the fields too, but it's a glitch. You gotta watch it for that tractor because the tractor will only give you a portion of your crops. You'll lose some crops by doing it. So that is just a forewarning. Unless they actually patch that, yeah, I lost it. I lost a bit of crops back in the day using that. I said, nope, I'm not going to do that anymore. I used to lose seed feed, and that's what I used to make money with. And I'm like, nope, not going to lose that. I'm not going to. I spent too much time and flux into it because I used to spend $500,000 flux in one run in seed feed and make $3 million off that $500,000. So, like I said, I know how to do the market. It's just what and how long it's going to take you. You don't want to be sitting on flux. You want to keep flux running at all times. And like I said, when it comes to that, like, I mean, it's like I told you, it's how you want to play. I can, like I told you, I can give you just suggestions. I can go along and tell you that. No, like, I mean, I don't tell people how to play. I will never do that. And like I said, it's like me. I won't tell people how to spend their money or how to spend their flux. It's up to them what they want to do. Like, I mean, I used to go along and make suggestions. Hey, if you get enough flux, you can go along and buy mounts and stuff like that. Or you could buy something that's going to benefit you. But that's up to you, what you want to do. But, you know, like, I mean, it's, like, I mean, some people don't go for PR or mastery. They just go along and build club worlds all the time. And that's how they make their flux. They make, like I said, 3, 4, 5 million flux just for doing shits and giggles. So, you know, it's what you want to do with the game. Like I said, like, I mean, there's many different things in Trove that you can actually do. That's why it makes Trove like a lot of fun game to actually do. You just get to learn where the market is to and what you want to do with the market. So you can actually make more flux and make more outcome for your own self. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like I said, there's so many different ways of doing one thing. So you choose what you want to do, dude. That's all I can tell you. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. That's why I said I don't. That's why I said I don't hold people's hand in the game either. Because, like I said, I'm always doing my own thing, and I'm always doing some grinding, and I'm always doing this and that. So, like, I mean, and I'm always trying to keep ahead a little bit. I don't go for the competition because the competition really, like I said, to me, I don't. Like I said, it just blows to me. So, like, I mean, I just don't bother with it. But, like I said, people choose what you do. Now, I need 2 more to make up enough for those. Then I got to do the long grind, which is going to be take me about a day and a half, maybe. Then I can actually have that gem completely done. Done like dinner. Dinner. All right, going straight down. Whoop. I'll get it in about 30 boxes or so. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, that's marketing strategies that I learned over time. But, I mean, everybody plays differently. Like, I mean, that's why I said everybody builds differently. That's why I don't give out bills and stuff like that to people. Like, I want them to experience the game. I'm not playing the game for them. Like, I mean, I don't mind helping them get a little bit of PR and stuff like that, but I want them to learn something. I don't want to be able to be one of those crutches. Like, to be like, hey man, he's not online. I can't learn nothing today. I can't do nothing because he's gone. And I'm like, okay, if you're waiting just for me, try something. You know, try something that works for you. I've got all these ideas, and I'm actually done all these ideas already. Like I said, I'm after making millions and millions of flux just for nothing out of water, pretty much. And each stage of the game, like you need to spend money to make money. You need to spend flux to make flux, to a point. Like, I mean, you got to, like I said, you're making bombs. Like I said, if you don't have, like, the turtle tank, let's see, the turtle tank is about 30 to 40K. Sometimes you can probably buy it a little bit cheaper. Might be a little bit more expensive, depends on what it is. And the funniest thing is that it'll be your very first up to make money. Then when you're doing the primordial flames and stuff like that and doing other things, that is the beginning of the marketing. Then you take that to start making gardens and stuff like that. And then you start making mastery. Then you basically, on the other opposite side of it, you can actually go along, start doing some fishing and stuff like that, and that will actually boost up yourself even more. Because you're basically constantly getting a full circle going. And once you get that full circle going, you'll never see the end of flux. But it takes a while to get that going. It's like how can I say it? It's like trying to get affiliate in here on Twitch. Like you need people sit down for a certain amount of time for it to count as the counter, and you need 3 people to do it. Like I said, after a certain amount of time, for 3 people, you need more than 30 seconds for it to count. It's the same thing here. You got to look at exactly, okay, I got to go do this, do this, do this. And then once you get all your flux going, you start regenerating back into your character. And then you get all the mounts and stuff in the game. It's very easy. But it takes time to do that. Like, I mean, I tell you, the easiest thing to do, to a point. You want to get a Ganda? Grow balls. Huh? Yeah, grow balls. Sell them on the market. It will take you about probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get a Ganda. You would have a Ganda for basically cheap. Balls goes cheap. Why not? And then you basically go along and say and show off to the rest of the world. Hey, I got a Ganda. That's how you do it. Like, I mean, there's strategies in this game. Like, I mean, you'll probably even get it sooner. It depends on how much bottles sell for. But bottles are cheap to basically grow. Really, really cheap. And it's actually even cheaper than golden souls. And they still do sell. They do sell quite a bit more for new players and stuff like that, because people want to try to stockpile all this resource. It's like me, like I said, what I mentioned to you before, Snoop. Like me, when you asked me about resources, I turned around and said this. I said, I don't help people with flux. I don't help people with resources because I save them for events. In less than 3 hours, with the new event I say right now, I had everything done. The thing is, because I had the stuff in my inventory. Basically, what you do is just stockpile for all the events and stuff like that. And if you do have to buy something off of somebody else or farm, you're doing very little farming because you already got it done in the future. And that's exactly how that works. So you're not wasting your time farming and farming and farming and farming and farming and try to get something out of the game. You're just farming a little bit, only for when you have to, and just do it that way. Then you actually get max amount of mastery and stuff like that too. And like I said, there are certain things in the game that does sell for quite a bit. But you got to remember what I had mentioned to you before. Depends on how long you're sitting on those items. Now, the items might drop down in price or might go up in price a little bit. Depends. But just having mass of something is good to have. But remember, if you're sitting on it any more than 3 to 4 days, you're basically losing profit. It's like someone actually sitting on something with just exactly the same price in a corner store, and they're waiting for that something to sell. Well, what happens is the value of that item starts to deteriorate over time. Now, you might sell it for exactly the same price eventually, but you'll still lose in time. Because remember, everything in this game is done on a 24-hour basis. What you can do in a 24-hour basis is what you're going to end up getting that day. So that's exactly how even the market works. It's a 24-hour basis. It's a 24-hour round. So I could put something there for 24 hours, and it'll last about a week up in the market, and they'll say expired or whatever the case may be. But in that 24 hours, you want to have at least selling spots. You want to have at least half your selling spots constantly open. Reason being is you do not want to stop making flux. You do not want to be having that gap. If you've got that gap, you're going to be stuck with that for a while. And that's exactly how that happens. So, like, I mean, it depends on what you want to sell and what you want to do in the game itself. At the end is what you're going to be doing, like I said, to make flux. Like, you can, like, when you asked me what do you sell and stuff like that, that's up to you. It's up to you what you have set up right now to keep on making flux so you can get the lower level mounts. Get the mastery that you're missing. Then work on everything else after, like the most expensive ones, once you get everything set up. And make sure it's all basically efficient. If it's not efficient, you'll be losing time. And that's exactly how it is. If you lose time, that means you're losing flux, and you're actually losing a lot of value overall. So you got to be very careful with the way you do things to a point. Now, it's not saying that I'm telling you how to run the market, but that's exactly how people run the market here. And that's how basically the real world market works as well. Like, I mean, it's like the stock market. One day it's like skyrocketing. The next day it could be dropped down to nothing. Next day it could be destabilized. And that's exactly how this market works, because someone else is there to drop your prices. Someone else there to basically to make sure. See, you got to remember, someone is there to make sure they're making more than you. It's a competition. This is why I said I'm not part of the competition, but I know how it works. I know how it works 100%. And this is why I say I stay out of the competition, just because of that. Because for me, I can still gain what I gain, and I can still do good for what I do. But when I'm actually get everything rolling again, once I get everything set up again, like I said, you'll see me making millions. But I'll be making the millions in a way that it's not going to hinder somebody else, and I'm not going to try to cut everybody else's throat. And that's exactly the way I do it. And I've been doing that since I started playing here. And I've been watching the market and stuff like that. I do not like how the people run the market here. Like I said, it's too much cutthroat and try to make a bit of flux. And it's very annoying because of that reason. But it does happen quite a bit. Like, I mean, if you just sit down, and not saying you want to, but you sit down for one day, and you watch the market, and you watch little tiny numbers. Someone might go along and say, sell something for $3,999. The next guy would go $3,998, $3,997. They're trying to cut each other's throat so bad by one flux. They will do that just for them to sell their item first. And yes, it does happen quite often. Like, I mean, when it comes to, like I say, the marketing strategies in this game, it's a pain to deal with, because you're dealing with the multiple. Like, I mean, one day you might see something going for 9 mil. Once people start flipping it, you'll see it go for 18 mil. You know? And that's exactly what it is. It's just like, it's crazy. So I know how to do it, but it's just, yeah. It works, but it hinders us at the same time. Like, I mean, it works to a certain point, but it hinders. It hinders the market so bad. Like I say, some people even turn around and say, you know what the market is? A great big huge scam. And that's all it is. It's just basically one person trying to undercut the other. So bad, it's not even funny. And I don't like the way the market is in this game. Just because so many people try to undercut. And try to cut you out of the market completely. And if you are cut out of the market, you're not going to make nothing for days. Like, I mean, like I said, you got to know exactly what's for sale, what's been sold, what number it is, and stuff like that, so you can still make a profit. But the more stuff that's on the market of the same stuff, like, I mean, you look at the very bottom, it said 57 items for 3K. Look at the very first item on that list. You'll see it going for 30 to 40 to 50K or more. Why? Because that one person, I gotta stop glitching. But that one person will go along and buy a whack of stuff cheap, or basically they'll do an event, and all they do is farm that event. And they'll get all those mounts and stuff like that for nothing, and they'll push everybody else into the market. And that's exactly how they do it. They'll make enough so you don't sell nothing, or you make very little profit. And if you make very little profit, that's how people get ahead in this game. Like, that's how they get the power and stuff like that up so high and so quick. Or they'll basically just buy like flux and stuff like that off of kind of like a black market, and they'll basically do it that too. Because for 1 mil flux, you can, basically for 1 mil flux is $1. So you basically can do that. And some people are selling, they do have that much flux in this game right now, they can actually do that. So they can actually pay their bills at the end of the month if they got enough. Think of it this way. If you go along and you're constantly making flux, and you're actually set up to make flux, basically you can start selling to people. I'm not saying it's going to be a dry ride to do it, and that's saying basically people got their accounts banned from that. This is why I don't. That's why I don't mention about it, because I know exactly how it can happen and how bad it can happen. And then people will be like, "Hey, my account got hacked or got banned or whatever the case may be," and then I said, "Wait, what are you doing?" I was scamming. I was ripping people off. I said, "That's why." People do not like the stuff to be dealt with that way. Like I said, it's like going into the hub. Going to the hub. I hate putting down my cornerstone. You know why? Because I get all the lower levels using my crap. I don't mind them using it, but what I'm saying is they don't work for nothing. They basically go in and start using like everything that you worked for, and it took you a while to do it. You know, but it's what it is. But like I said, think of it this way: it's like basically someone walking into your house and stuff like that and start messing with your shit. And then like I said, you can't really do nothing in this game about it. I'm after putting blocks and stuff like that. Like I said, I think you've seen how I designed my cornerstone and why I did that, because I can put 2 blocks and no one has access to my cornerstone. You can try to get, because you can't remove the blocks and you can't access my tables. That's the reason why I did that. Now, that's not being rude to people. Just saying, hey, go in and grind. Do your thing. Don't be a low level trying to gain something off the higher levels. If you need a hand or anything or need to be taught something, ask the question. Come in basically into a chat, ask the question, or basically learn how to play the game. If you don't want to do that, well, that's your own prerogative. But as I said before, at the beginning of the stream, or pretty much almost the beginning of the stream, I said, why would you download the game if you're only going to basically be depending on other people? Or basically try to leech off other people constantly. You're not playing the game. You're just basically downloading the game. It's like me going into a game and using a hack. It's like me going to go to Diablo and use the hack gear, and I just spent $40 on the game. Okay, I just got the nice shiny edition, whatever the case may be. I got the necromancer and everything running. I'm gonna go along and do it that way. Then I'm gonna go along and just use hacked gear. You can get it going straight through the game. I just wasted my money because I just finished the game in less than 5 minutes. Why am I doing that? You know, and that's why I said there is a lot of lazy people that does play here that does that. You sit on top of the buildings, you do all that stuff, and it happens more so to the higher level players because A, they don't know how to play it. B, they just don't have the stats done right or re-rolled, or just don't know how to do it, or just don't ask questions how to do it. This is why I like doing my YouTube channels and stuff like that, and my Twitch, because it helps people that don't know how to. But now coming back and basically doing my videos and stuff like that, and doing the way I do it, is the reason why I do it, and the way I do it, because of that reason. So I can go along, and yes, I can help you get PR. If I'm working together with you, if you're working, like I say, grinding with me and stuff like that, you're at least showing initiative. But if you're just sitting there on top of a roof and doing nothing, you're not showing no initiative at all. And that annoys me to death. Because that means basically you downloaded the game just to have someone else to play it for you. And does that do anything for you? No. You basically be constantly doing that and waiting for somebody else to do it for you. And that's something I don't do myself, or to try not to allow too much. Because at times, I know if I'm doing a dungeon, see, people don't realize in this game, you have a map. I can just pull this up and I can watch you where you're going. If you're chasing me across the map, I don't have to look around and say, oh my God, where's that guy going? I just pull up the map and look at exactly where the guy is going. And then I'll watch what his actions are. And then if he's basically just sitting on top of a roof, I'll say, hey, if you're known for leeching, and so on and so forth, I'll say, hello, leech, how are you doing? Because that's all you're going to be doing. I'm not basically saying it's right or wrong. Yes, you'll benefit somewhat from it, but you don't gain that much. And you'll actually slow yourself down because you're waiting for somebody else. And this is exactly why I try to avoid, like I said, when it comes to that, and try to avoid these people like a plague. Because all they do is just basically do nothing all day. Like, I mean, I've seen them in the hub asking for items for 4, 5, 6 hours. Hey, do you have an item? Do you have a mount to spare? Do you have this and that? I'm like, oh my God, go and farm the darn thing. It's easy. Go and do some grinding. You know, it happens to a lot of people. Now, I can understand if you're doing it together with the dungeon and stuff. As I said, I do this game properly. If you are in the same dungeon, I don't care if you're in 1-star, 5-star, whatever. If you are in the same room as me and we're basically on the same table, you will benefit and I will benefit. I'm not basically going along and sitting on top of a roof and going along and doing nothing and doing it that way. And I know you're gaining like the gem dust. I know you're gaining gems. I know you're gaining all this stuff. And you're actually learning and not just sitting. That makes a big difference. And people be like, oh man, you're very choosy. You're doing this wrong and that wrong. And then, no, actually, I'm not doing it wrong if you look at it. I basically love to be able to teach people. So I'm not fishing for you constantly. I'm not actually playing the game for you. I'm actually teaching you how to play the game and do it that way. So you are not relying on me. That's why if I'm at work, you're not saying, hey man, he's not on today. Damn it, I can't get nothing done. It's like, okay, you can't get nothing done because you're too lazy to get off your beep, and that's exactly what you're going to be doing. And you're going to keep on repeating the same process. This game is a grinder. And this is exactly how this game was designed, for mass grinding. And marketing strategies and stuff like that, and even builds, I'll let you go along and try your own builds, try your mistakes, let you learn. So if you play another game similar to this, or whatever the case may be, in the future, you decide to quit this one and try another one, like try Diablo, try different games that's basically this game is made off of. Think of it this way. You'll have the knowledge to go along and jump the gun and have fun with it. Because you'll be like, oh, I can actually do this. Oh, and now I can get my damages up. I can go and get all this stuff to work right for me instead of basically messing around and doing nothing. So, like I said, instead of wasting your money and time buying games that you do not understand how to play, which some people do, this is a free game. You don't have to spend nothing, and you can still get your high stats and stuff and your high damages. You just got to know how to do it. This is exactly what my videos is about. That's why I got a YouTube channel. And if I'm not online, you can just do the research. You watch my videos. That's the research. You can watch anybody's videos. Do the research. Then you can go along and find what mounts and stuff that you're missing from events and stuff like that, and see exactly what the price go for. And then you can go do basically find exactly if it's cheaper on PC and what prices it used to go on for a PC and so on and so forth. And then you can actually justify your own prices in your own market, so you're not ripping and tearing people apart, like for a little bit of flux. So that's exactly what you got to look at. You got to basically look at all the stuff that people do to people, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And it's very, very, to me, it's very rude when it comes to that. And it's rude not because of, like, I mean, think of it this way. If you do start playing a game, it's like playing, okay, you play zombies. Okay, Call of Duty. Zombies. I'm going to sit by the fence and do nothing. All of a sudden you get a bunch of zombies on you, you die. Ah, I died. I didn't do, because you never moved. You're basically waiting for everybody else to finish the match so you can revive. Or basically have the revive potion, basically to give yourself an extra life. But if you're just sitting there doing nothing and hopefully try to people give you points, that doesn't work either. You know, there is mechanics in the game itself, and the mechanics are fun to work with, and they're fun to play with. But it depends on how your mechanics and stuff work, and how you play together with people. That's what makes a big, huge difference. So if you are basically just doing nothing, you're not benefiting yourself at all, you're not doing the research, you're not doing whatever, like I said, when you actually go along and look at the future of gaming and look at exactly what's out there now and what was in the past, gaming is almost exactly the same going out throughout the years. All he did was change the graphics or might change something else. But the mechanics and stuff, a lot of the mechanics are exactly the same. So if you don't learn the mechanics, then you're not going to learn the game. Then you can be struck with every single game that you pick up. It's like playing playing RPGs. And you got one weapon that you know it's really good. Then basically you use that weapon. But then another person will basically play the same game and they don't know what is what. Then they they don't look for the information, they don't do it, and they struggle like the last boss. And that's exactly what happens. So if they do struggle themselves, that's their own problem. But it should not be a problem if you've got the right information. Because think of it this way. When you have the right information, it works every single time, and it works quite well. Like if you're not there to do the information and stuff like that, you're not there to learn, you're not there to do nothing, then you won't learn nothing. And that's exactly how that works. Now, it sounds like I'm basically ragging on people. No, that's exactly how people play. Like, I mean, and also depends on, like, sometimes the age limit, sometimes. Age could be a factor in there, but not always. I've seen people coming in here, basically complete stoners and everything else, and like going, hey man, I don't want to play this today. I'm bored. And if you say you want to play it but you're bored, and then you get bored playing it, why the heck did you pick it up? It makes no sense. Anyway, it's what it is, you know. It sounds like I'm just ranting, but and it just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh very hard. And in a good way, though. Like I said, that's why you never find me depressed or anything like that, or basically getting really extremely cheesed off, just because you'll never see that. Because I look at the plus and minuses, and I know I'm getting ahead of a lot of people because I know the knowledge and stuff out there, and people are like, oh, that's how you're doing. Ah, that's how you did it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I just love it. I just love it. Like I said, I've been playing these type of games for a long time. Like, I mean, not just these type of games. I played GTA. I played them all. I played, like I said, I played just pretty much every Doom game and stuff like that, even when they were first started coming out. But it was fun. It was fun back then. But games are still fun if you want to make them fun. But like I said, with these games, you gotta do research. Like I said, I played Silk Road before on PC. I played that with a buddy of mine. I played 2.5 years of that. I played Warframe 3.5 years with a very good team. The team actually decided to split up after Destiny 1 dropped, and we lost half our team. But they still do play Warframe on and off, and they still do play other games as well. So, like, I mean, we still play other games, including the other games that we used to play. Like, I mean, and we do still chat to each other and stuff like that, and still do go back to Warframe once in a while. I just don't stream Warframe and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I've got up to rank 16 on Warframe because it was never needed to go in the higher rank. I don't know what it's like now with the ranking system, but I know 16 was actually really high, and I said forget, because I had the EXP and stuff like that to go to basically 24, 25 in a level, and of course 30 was the max. I don't know what the max is now, because I never played it like legitimately in a couple of months because I've been focusing more on this game and Minecraft and everything else. But now I do still talk to the guys. But when we used to play, even after Destiny, is what I was getting at, we still used to go back and play it once in a while. And like, I mean, it's just a group of people that you play together and learn together. We used to be 20 people competing against these 200 people. Like, I mean, we used to have our crafting and stuff done, like I said, faster than most people. We were in 8th spot in the world. And of all the clubs. We made a lot of, like, not clubs, but dojos off our club, or off our dojo. We made, like, one for the kids, like, for between 14 and 18. We used to call them kids. And we basically what worked with them and tried to help them build it up. But it only lasts about a week. But we did waste a little bit of resources to try to build it, but it didn't work. So that was up to them if you want to make it work or not. But then they actually rejoined. Some of them rejoined back with us. We actually tested our waters with different people, and so on and so forth. We were actually, if you go along and played Warframe and look at some of the older clubs, okay, you ask about the club. If you ever decide to play it, ask for it's called what was it? It's called Maximum Prime was our club. We were actually that efficient with what we had. We didn't even want extra members. We started adding extra members as we needed to grow because we noticed we actually went to the Moon Clan and we only had enough resources to go to a little bit, quite a bit less. So we actually were doing double and triple the work just as a bigger clan with only 20 people. And not realizing what actually each level meant, because we were only learning back then what each level meant and how much resources. For every single level that you put your dojo to, basically it will require almost double the resources that's required. Like, say, if you need to get polymer bundles, it'll be twice the polymer bundles. So we had all these people, and we used to have our tech and stuff like that. And we used to, basically, I will tell you this. We done a run in, what was it called? And I think it was one in one of the maps in MERS or something like that. And what happened is, we held it for about 2.5 months as a top ranked alliance, just for holding the spot until they actually done a patch in the game, and we lost our spot because what happened is they done a reset. And they done a reset of the ranking system at that time because they were actually putting something a little bit different in it, and we basically said screw it. Because we done an hour, oh no, it was close to a little over 2 hours, and the map was called Zini. It was actually a one of those that you hit the center and you got the mobs and stuff like that. We spent 2.5 hours, and the game became so laggy because I used Volt. I didn't use Volt Prime because there was no such thing back then. I just used normal Volt. And that's exactly the character I used. And we actually survived. We all exited because the game was about ready to fold in on itself pretty much or crash out. And we were like, we do not want to lose this time or anything like that because if the game crashes out, we were afraid that we wouldn't keep the record. And that's exactly what we did. And we done challenges. We've done challenges for ourselves to do that. That's why I said I don't like the competition, but I love to challenge myself. That's the difference. So if I can challenge myself to do something, like if you're watching my streams, and I'll go along and say I need like 40 boxes of something, or 50 boxes of something, that's my challenge for the day. I want to try to get as close to that point as possible, so I actually know exactly what I've done for myself that day. So if I'm actually doing a stream, like I said, doing the same stream over and over with boxes and stuff does get a little bit monotonous for people watching, and it does get a bit boring for myself. But if you need them, and if you're learning stuff as you're basically watching, then that makes a big, huge difference at the end of the day. And that's exactly the way I like doing things, because people don't realize Like, I mean, I've got a lot of years doing gaming and stuff like that. A lot of people has done a lot of years of gaming. But what type of games did you play? How did you go about doing them, and so on and so forth? That makes a great big difference. Now, I've got to see if I needed a hat. No, I need a face. See if I can face it. See if I got a face in my inventory. I think I just picked up a hat. Yeah, I just picked up a hat. Oh, crap. I'm not gonna use that. But anyway, regardless of that, it's just, well, it depends on what you want to do. Like, I mean, like I said, and what you want to make something for yourself. Like I said, as I said before, going back to markets and stuff, yeah, I'm just basically going back and forth because it's all equal to how people get along with each other and how people go along and try to do something. Like I said, some people are there to help people. And if you're working together as a team, you'll basically benefit a lot. But if you're not there to work together as a team, if you only got one member, you try to hold everything, it doesn't always work. And at the end of the day, like I said, looking at basically the price tag on everything and stuff like that, and try to figure out exactly what to do with the game. Like I said, just do some research. Like, I mean, research pays out a lot. Like, I mean, I spent months and months. If I pick up a new game, that's why you don't see me picking up a new game and saying, oh, I'm going to go along and stream it. Like, when I picked up Cyberpunk, to say, and figured out, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I watched a lot of done a lot of research on Google. I done a lot of research on that game, and I can pick up that game right now. I know exactly whatever everything is to. I can go along and make videos on it and so on and so forth because I've done the research, and the research will actually help you a lot more than just sitting down and doing nothing. Because if you pick up a game, yeah, I don't care if it's free. I don't care for what you paid for it. I really don't care. But at the other hand, like, I mean, I said this to one person before, playing Minecraft. Basically, she was 65 years old, and she wanted to learn how to build. I say, okay, you want to learn how to build. It doesn't matter if you use like YouTube or whatever the case may be. And of course, her son played with me as well. He's in his 40s. So I said, okay, because we used to play with his kids and stuff too, right, on and off. Anyway, regardless of that, I said, the easiest way to play these games is do the research. Then to come back and start building. And you'll start learning different styles and stuff like that. Even if you're copying somebody, you can always modify what you're doing. And you can also make it your own. And that's exactly what I was mentioning before. That's why I said, even playing Trove, anything else, you got to make it your own game at the end. So you want to be able to do that and basically enjoy the game the way you want to play it. Like, I mean, as I said before, I can have a bunch of followers, I can lose a bunch of followers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, you'll still be coming back to get research. And yes, I'm glad you do that. And like I said, if you enjoy the company as well, that's great too as well. Like, I mean, I'm there basically to help you guys out as much as I can. And that's exactly what I do. But I'll tell you exactly how I do it. But not saying you're going to spend that much time to doing that. Because it does take quite a bit of time. It's not something you just pick up and say, oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about and stuff like that. But it doesn't work that way. Like, I mean, it does take a bit of reading, a little bit of watching, and a little bit of learning before you can actually do that. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun if you do it correctly. And like I said, your learning curve is what you're going to be doing throughout the game itself. And it sounds like I'm basically being a teacher and at school or whatever the case may be. But if you look at it, I'm only seeing exactly the way online games work. And it's been working like this for over 20 years. Nothing never changed, really. Online games started back in the basically in the PlayStation 1. Actually, you could still play some online games with people, like racing games and stuff. People didn't realize that, but actually the modem was actually designed for that. But it was only under dial-up. Like I said, it was horrible. I used to do that. But anyway, regardless of that, learning that with different things, like I say, even with the Dreamcast, Dreamcast is actually another one that used to go online and stuff like that. But thing is, if you are actually playing the game and you want to be able to become better there's somebody else, whatever the case may be, or want to get that research, like I said, it would still pay off even back then. If you could find the research, that is, because there wasn't much like Google stuff back then. I'm just basically glad. Like, I mean, you got Bonsai Buddy and stuff like that back in the day for AOL and crap like that and other things. And most of the stuff is just garbage. That's why it's not even used today. It's just no. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, it's just what it is. Like I said, this is why I enjoy games, because it's always a learning curve. And like I said, if I'm teaching somebody like that, and if I'm helping somebody else out, I love helping people out. Like, I mean, I'm not there to go along and be a teacher to the people. I'm not going to go along and say, hey, you got to learn in a book. Like, I mean, if you're watching my videos and stuff like that, and you're basically learning something every day, and you're taking bits and pieces, this is why I do my videos in bits and pieces, so people can actually learn. And that's exactly what I do. So, like I said, besides that, like I said, hopefully everybody's still doing good. If you do like the video itself, you can always hit that follow button and hopefully be able to help you in the future. Like I said, if you got a problem grinding and stuff like that, or getting stuck at a certain point, I can help you with the information and stuff. Just ask a question. I'll be able to answer it as quickly and as clearly as possible, and be able to get you back into your own game. And that's exactly what I've been doing for years. And like, I mean, for the knowledge and stuff like that, it's like I said, just a lot of research that I do. I do research every single day on different things. Like, I mean, I wouldn't learn how to use a computer. Well, actually, learn how to build a computer back in the day when I was actually like 6 years old. I started learning how to use computers before I started learning how to build them. But at the other hand, I wouldn't learn how to build them if I didn't do research. You got to be able to learn something just to make it interesting. Or basically you learn from trial and error in some cases too. So like I said, trial and error does help sometimes. Like I said, if you blow like I said, a piece of memory, like I said, a piece of RAM or something like that, or blow a power supply, but you'll find exactly what blew that power supply very quickly, because you'll see something else being damaged right next to it, or something else, or the motherboard to be just toasted, you know, and you start learning from that experience. And that does work. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to basically call it a night, of course. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, I'll enjoy the video. Like I said, I'm sorry about a little bit about the rant and stuff like that, a little tiny bit, but it wasn't ranting. It was just basically explaining exactly how things work and how people work together, and the difference between people working together and basically playing together, and basically not trying to cut each other's throat and stuff like that in different ways. But like I said, it's what it is. Like I said, I don't complain about it. I can't do nothing about it or anything like that. But it's nice to be able to just say, to know about it. Hey, how are you doing, Sock? I was just basically ready to log, but I guess I can stick in for another 5 or 10 minutes. So, how's your grind? How are you doing with the game, dude? Hopefully you're doing great. Yeah. Like I said, this video is more about, like I said, how people, like I said, rip people off in the market and stuff like that, and how the market works. And it's more about the marketing strategy and how, like I said, how some team members actually play together. You know? Oh, nice. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, like I said, you can be able to make bombs and stuff with them and try to even make profit with those. So that's Ooh, 800 bombs. As I said, it's really easy to do. Like, I mean, you get to work with the mechanics, guys. You get to work with mechanics. You get to learn how the mechanics works. Once you learn how the mechanics works, you can repeat the same mechanics over and over. Like I said, it's just like everything else. Anyway, like I said, this video, I just let you know itself, their shock. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Now you got enough for almost a complete week, or whatever the case may be, from doing dungeons. But that's exactly what I was telling. Like, I mean, it's really easy. Now you can take that 800 and double that, and then keep on doing that over and over. So it's very easy to do. But anyway, what I was going to say to you is, Sock, this stream was about basically the way the game market is. How people, like I said, do the marketing to a point, to make flux, and how people will actually try to undercut you and stuff like that. They're like to say the evil side of the market, and basically what you had to do is try to combat it if you can. And like I said, how people actually play together at the same time, trying to get something for nothing. And like I said, that's why it's that, you know. Oh, I could have gave you one of those, dude. Oh no, that's right. You're on a different. Oops, I forgot you're on. Crap! I forget. I always forget about that. Crap. Yeah, I know. I keep on forgetting about that. I was like, no, it's not happening. Yeah, I know. But yeah, like I said, as I said earlier, um, like I said, if you're dealing with the mechanics and stuff of the game, like I mean, like I said, if you're using my videos, as I said before, all I do is just do research in the games, and I don't mind sharing the research. And like I said, if I'm doing a YouTube video or something like on my research, but anybody can actually do the research if you know exactly the venues to go into, and it works quite well. And like I said, some of the stuff is just trial and error. Like I say, sitting with the market, if you want to basically try to rule the market and stuff like that, and try to get the flux. But like I said, you've got to remember, there's a lot of people that's doing, try to cut, like I said, try to cut each other off in the market too. So you got to be very careful with that. But like if you can make flux and make enough of it, you're doing pretty good for your own stuff too at the same time. But anyway, regardless of that, it's just what it is. And that's what this video was. That's what this video is about, to be exact. That's exactly what this video is about. It's just to basically telling people, hey, you're basically dealing with the market. You're dealing with basically a double-edged sword. But depends on what you do with that sword. That makes a difference at the end of the day. Like I said, if you're stuck with something that you want to sell, right? But see, the thing is, you're losing a lot of it. If you want to undercut somebody that bad, don't undercut them that much. You want to be able to go 2 or 3K flux lower, and you'll still be able to sell it, and you'll still make profit. That's how you basically do your gems and stuff without losing. Even if it takes a little bit longer to sell, but sometimes it doesn't. Depends on what it is. I told you, like I said, it depends on rarity. Right. But if you got 4 of them, that's not bad, but you could basically think about it. 15K times 4, and I'm doing 28 times 4. If it's selling for 30. So you're basically losing. Oh, it's still common. If it's common, going for 30, but see, it depends. It depends on what it is. Like I mean, how like I said, it's not if it's common or uncommon or whatever the case may be, but it depends on what it is. Like I said, in that direction. So, like I mean, if you still made profit, you made profit. But the way I would do it is a little bit different than that. I don't undercut people. I don't. But I still don't lose. Oh, you're talking about Quebsley, the miner. Okay. Well, that's still actually those are worth a lot of glam, dude. That's worth a lot of glam. Glam is actually worth a little bit. Because you get mastery from glam too. You know that, don't you? But like I said, ew. Oh, you got already enough stockpiled for doing treasure trove and stuff? To getting the mounts and stuff from there? Oh, okay, enough said. I thought you'd be low on glam because when you were telling me about your PR and stuff, I was like, oh, okay. But it's okay. It happens. It happens. I wouldn't worry about it too much. No, I gotta look at exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, that's a big difference. Now I can actually start leveling that. Now. Okay, cool. But at least, as long as you're not losing, dude. Oh, your friends. Okay, okay, okay. Sweet, sweet, dude. Sweet. Awesome. That sounds great. Now, I got to make sure I've got shot speed and not my critical. Shot speed and movement speed is what I need here. I don't need health regen. Attack speed. Attack speed is what I need. But I also need movement speed. Come on, give me those two. Eek. Jump and movement speed. I could use that. I'll see if I can get to two. I don't think I can get to two of them. Because one will negate the other. But I know I need attack speed. Okay, I can... Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad at least you got situated with that, because, like I said, it's what it is. Like, I mean, I turned around because, see, remember back, like I said in one of my videos back when, now, that Glam used to be actually dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. Oh, crap. I am just a little short on my helmet. Crap. For nitro. But I'll actually farm some of that later. And that's not a big, huge issue for me. I'll just worry about it a little bit later on. And I'll worry about that. And good morning, everybody. And welcome to the stream, of course. Even though you're not speaking, I'm just going to say good morning to you anyway. Like I said, I was just about ready to log, but I just had another buddy to pop in for a minute. I just can't leave people hanging, dude. I just can't do it. No, that's not going to happen. Like I said, I love streaming and everything else too at the same time, so why not? So hopefully everybody's doing good this morning. The pearls to light, and it went from critical damage to physical. Well, that's still not bad. That's still not too bad, but it's like I said, I know it's the wrong stat. Like, I mean, you could use that for just the extra damage until you get it set right, but at least it's not going to be like going into critical percentage. Its critical percentage will actually basically be no good. Like I said, that's one thing I try to get rid of a lot of. I just basically maybe keep a little tiny bit of it until I get my dragons and stuff up. Then I'll actually switch it over, and then basically I'll be able to keep my damage up for whatever I'm going to be using it for. Right now I'm just opening up boxes because I just done a fair size grind. I just can't wait for a third set reroll because I want to get that freaking hat done. It's got health regen. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, you don't want to get rid of them. You just want to re-roll at least after crystalline because you don't want to get rid of good stats. Like here, it's good stats, low PR. I don't keep anything below 670 just because I don't like wasting resources. Because the resources that it requires for you to actually get your stats and stuff up will actually be one of the epitomes because of the fact that to say, okay, you need basically to do all those rough focuses and stuff, you want to try to reduce them as much as you can. Right now, I'm actually working on my Solarian. I've been trying to, I'm basically swapping out all the crystalline and stuff like that, and still working on that. So what I'm doing right now, of course, I finally got my Shadow Hunter to 46k. Yay! Everybody's happy, right? Well, kind of. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm just glad I got it up there because it took me pretty much all day to do that. Okay, I'll say goodnight to you, Sock. Like I said, probably tomorrow. Like I said, if I'm not at work tomorrow, like I said, I'll probably talk to you later. Like I said, you're more than welcome to drop by anytime. And thanks for dropping by anyways. Hopefully you have a good night, and hopefully be able to see you again. Of course, that's like anybody that drops by the stream. Hopefully be able to see you on... Oh, yeah, sweet, dude. That's, like, I mean, that's another day. Like I said, as I said before, if you do it right, in 1 week, you can have 2 dragons. If you get the dragon fragments and stuff, you get the coins, basically just to do the alerts and all that stuff, all that fun stuff, you'll be able to get those. And it's not hard to get dragons in this game. Right. Sweet. So that means you get a little bit. You get like the PR. You get the stats. Which dragon are you going for though? Are you getting the primordial or what? Because the primordials makes a big huge difference. Because it helps you with the big gems. If you're just getting a regular dragon, it just helps you with the regular stats. Okay. So you got two of them set up. You got to get the dragon coins. Okay. Sweet. I'm glad you got something set up like that, dude. Seriously. Well, I'm just gonna let you go to bed, of course. I'll say probably good night to you. Hopefully, better catch you on the flip again, of course. Yep. All right. Sweet. Well, like I said, I want to try to get some sleep tonight myself because I got to try to keep my work schedule. It's 4:13 in the morning for me, so it's getting a bit late. But like I said, thanks for those who dropped by and stuff like that. Hopefully you find information and stuff like that on my channel that you find it very useful. Hopefully be able to see you again, guys. And hopefully you have a good night as well. And just drink a lot of coffee in the morning. No, just kidding. You don't want to get the coffee jitters. No, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, peace it for now, guys. Have fun and do what you need to do. And like I said, if you find anything interesting, just keep on doing it and just have fun with it and have a blast. Peace it for now, guys. Goodbye.